because I love clouds and looking up. Let me repeat that just in case. Hello, this is episode 293 or 294 of Where the Heavenly Bodies Are. We have a visual of this also available on youtube.com/AKA Cloud Depth. Now, this is the second episode that I've done where I'm in the sky at inthesky.org, and I have the music from Daniel Roberts and Meditation 1 in the background. You can get it off iTunes, and I want to share information in a way that is relaxing. I call it a meditative sharing because I feel that we need to incorporate where the heavenly bodies really are in our sky in the quiet way that they are so luminously displayed in a clear night sky. The longer that you stare at them, and staring means to slow down, just when you stare at them and they stare back at you, and there's a relationship. Anyway, I've had that kind of a relationship, but I feel there's a relationship to be had. And so I hope that me sharing this information in this relaxing way will first allow you to take time for yourself, and secondly, to think about the time that these lights that are huge balls of energy take to reach us every single day, and how special it is when we allow ourselves to connect, to look up, and to honor as earthlings our night sky. So the first thing I wanted to share was if we were wondering how Earth is doing during this lockdown, we'll say, "Hey Earth, how are you doing? I mean, I think you're doing well. The turtles have come back to the sea. The air is clear, waters are clear. There's real change in Mother Earth." And she would say, "Of course, I'm replenishing myself. What are you doing?" And this comes to mind because today Pluto is stationary before it will appear to go retrograde until October 2020. So let's take a moment at this special moment that Pluto is holding space, because I know there is something very special about holding space, just like we honor the moment, just like we stand still. And so as Pluto is the last to leave Sagittarius before they all kind of go retrograde, and I believe Saturn will come back into Sagittarius. But right now, Pluto is at the end of the line of stars, and you can see that in this beautiful in the sky. It is the last, and Venus is leading the way, and positioning is so important. I couldn't have said it better. So let us look at it the way that it is, as we see Venus leading the way at home in Taurus for Mother Earth, followed by the moon, then the sun conjunct Uranus at 7 degrees, and Earth adds up to 7. And a lot of 7 has been happening. This corona is an opportunity for us to make real changes. It's very Plutonian in a way, and it's asking us for an inner inner transformation. It's asking us to regenerate ourselves, to go inward, to go inside, to stay inside. And here we are, an opportunity to really do that against our will in a way. It wasn't really our idea. So that's very plutonium as well. You don't have a choice. There's a Pluto saying, okay, you know, I've had Saturn. I've connected with Jupiter now. And now I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm standing, I'm holding space for the earth. I'm holding space for a better situation for all of us. And no matter how that situation came about, the fact is that it is real for this earth plane now. So we want to make this not too long. I want to share with you where the heavenly bodies are at 23:11, that's 11:11 p.m. time, GMT. That will be New York time, Eastern Standard, 18:11, that's 11 minutes after 6 p.m. And then California time at 15:11, that's 11 minutes after 3 p.m. Now we have also here, I'm going to show you where we are. Let's go to Sagittarius where there's Pluto, you see. And then next to it, they still call it a dwarf planet. Then we have next to Pluto our lovely Jupiter. Now Pluto, as I said, was at 28 degrees. Pluto is at 30 degrees. Next we have our Saturn, which is at 1 degree Capricorn. It's not alone in Capricorn. As you see, there's Mars there. And Capricorn is at 18 degrees. But what I wanted to note is you see where my arrow's pointing, this is also an Aquarius star. Like I say, it starts. So Mars, that belongs also conjunct, aligned with the 8th house as a co-ruler, or as our archetypes tell us, of course, with Aries, but also Scorpio. Pluto is associated with Scorpio. Pluto is associated with the 8th house, which is major transformation. And it is in two energies. So I like to say, to express this, how important it is to integrate energies, because Mars has a possibility to be fiery with Aries or watery with Scorpio, but a deep Scorpio. So that was before Pluto came about as a dwarf planet, as a, a dark whatever, a planet that they couldn't see or they don't want to acknowledge as a true planet, but is a planet. Okay, so Pluto is associated with water, with deep water, not just your normal kind of water, like major changing water and deep rooted changes. And we are made of water. We have to change the whole construction, right? We have to change the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, to make a real change. And this is perhaps just a symbolism of that. But what happens with Mars when it is in Capricorn, which is Earth, and actually in air? What we have is all four elements together. And I always feel this is very important. It gives us power as the alchemists to work with the four elements together. So our actions, our Marsian movements, our aim could be to integrate and to understand how we're going to work through this for the good of all, that's Aquarius, to make real change on this earth plane, that's Capricorn, and to understand the original fire of Aries, the need to to defend, let's use defend instead of fight, for what we believe in, and know that the Sagittarius, where the Pluto is also dealing or within the space of water, because Pluto is associated with Scorpio, but it's in fire. I could say that reverse. Because Pluto is in the fire, it's in Sagittarius, but it is of water. So it is also handling two different energies, just as Mars in its makeup handles two energies. And that would give us power, real power, as Pluto stands still today, to acknowledge a real need for inner transformation, regeneration, and to bring a change about from ourselves and then outward into the world. And that is a whole lot said about Mars in Capricorn, but also in Aquarius. But these are important. Don't minimize your concept of life, and energies abound. Don't say, oh, I'm a Scorpio, or don't say the moon's there. The moon is everywhere, depending on where you're looking. You know, you have all the energies of the zodiac in your personality or your construction within the energies that were present when you were born. It just differs where you interact with them, or where you are conscious of them, or where one is stronger than the other, one is benefiting, or how the energies are interacting with each other. But they're all there, and I personally believe that is the challenge that we have here as we start to wake up and know that we can access these energies and be the alchemists of our lives. So here we have Neptune at the end, looking at the end of Aquarius, but in, mathematical terms, it's at 22 degrees Aquarius, which is also a master number. So with this numerology, these numbers are reinforcements of what is actually happening as far as a divine energy. It's mathematics, it's a divine calculation. Next we have in the sky, so the southern part that you can't see on this chart with the mathematics, we have Chiron at 15 degrees of Pisces. And may I add, I usually start with the ascendant, because what's important is the ascendant at this time of 2311 is at 0 degrees of focus, and Chiron is associated with a focus, like Mars is associated with Aries and Pisces with Neptune. And so I don't like to use the word ruler, so I just say associate. And what do we really know? I'm coming away from these archetypes or myths, but the energies that as we understand them. Okay, so a focus is the serpent bear, is the medicine healer, and the Chiron is the key, the wounded healer. So how to heal. And again, like magic, I feel that you cannot make it up in this moment of time where Pluto standing still at the end of Sagittarius, the last one out the house of Sagittarius, because Jupiter is ahead at 30 degrees. We have the special holding space, divine placement of 0 of focus, and on the next sensitive point, the southern point, is called IC, it's opposite the MC. We have 15 degrees as well, conjunct Chiron. So this is really a moment to think, how can I heal myself from inside that will then change and recreate a ripple effect to the outside. And it's not like we don't have time to do that or to think about how that can be done. Next, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I did. Here is Eris, planet 10, planet X, planet Xenon. It's called Eris though. And it's been found in the constellation of Sagittarius. Now they don't give that a numerological number, and in Sagittarius because Sagittarius goes parallel to Pisces. So calculated for Pisces, it's 32 degrees of Pisces. Now Mercury is at 34 degrees of Pisces, and tomorrow, or is it tomorrow? On Monday, or late tomorrow, our Mercury will be at 0 degrees. Now mind you, in Skystrology, there are always sometimes more than 30 degrees. There are, based on how much space each constellation takes of the ecliptic path. Okay, and so sometimes it's 18 like a Fucus, and sometimes it's 7 like Scorpio. Okay, and in this case, Pisces, I believe, is 37 degrees, and Mercury moves quite quickly. So by Monday, Mercury will be holding space in the morning of Monday, 0 degrees of Aries. And note when I say these things are in Pisces, they are also in Sagittarius because they are parallel. And Sagittarius is the sea dragon, so I can't talk about that now because I don't want this to be too long. Okay, so next we have Mercury, where I was talking about, clearly in Pisces, aligning with Sagittarius, and will move quite quickly to be at 0 degrees of Aries in 2 days on Monday. But today, in this moment at 23:11, we're looking at our Sun and Uranus aligned. And actually, of course, Uranus is behind our Sun. So here we are already. But they're right next to each other, you see. There's the Sun, and next to it is Uranus, which is further away. This little blue is very dim. You can't see it with the naked eye, but it is at the junction. Another opportunity saying the sun is shining a light on the junction of elements. Here with the fiery Aries, which is associated with Mars, which is in the same situation with Aquarius and Capricorn, and then it is here with Sagittarius, which itself embodies fire, earth, and water, and of course, last but not least, Pisces, right? So we have this water and fire, but we have the possibility to understand how we need to integrate the earth in that. It's not just a straightforward water and fire interaction. It's a water, fire interaction and earth at the same time. And right before it goes into the earth energy, you see it's very close of this star in Taurus. And we have the moon, which is now aligned at the time I'm talking about, 23 with one of my favorite stars, which is, sorry about that, Aldebaran. And that is also another discussion, but as you see, I'm out of this space. I told you before, I don't have it. And then last but not least, we have Venus. So the moon at this, did I say Uranus and the sun are both at 7 degrees? The Our moon is at 13 degrees, almost 14 degrees. And Venus is at 22 degrees of Taurus here. Also aligning with, so that's how you look at it. Don't do that. Capella, one of my favorite stars. And of course, Orion here below in Aldebaran. So there's a powerful energy at 2311. If I could invite you to take a moment and appreciate that energy. Yes, that's all I ask. Thank you for listening. Have a lovely moment. If you would like to know more about Skystrology, this is definitely the time to ask. Take care of yourselves. Replenish yourselves.